Peer pressure. What is peer pressure? Peer pressure is a direct or indirect influence of social norms concerning a specific group of people. The influence is either spoken or unspoken and carries a negative or positive intent. The pressure of the influence is regulated by the identity status of the recipient, identity achievement, or identity confusion. Identity confusion is a status of longing to be accepted and popular, or a status of worrying about being rejected and unpopular. Identity confusion will allow peer pressure the authority to influence the recipient's ability to form sound thoughts and to make clear, relevant decisions. On the other hand, identity achievement is a status of knowing purpose in life. This status will provide the authority to overcome the influence to conform to the thinking patterns and belief system of a particular social group. Who is affected by peer pressure? There are seven living social generations in the world spanning from 1901 to 2025. Each generation have their own unique challenges and theme according to their time and history. The order of these generations is as follows. The greatest generation, 1901 to 1924. Silent generation, 1925 to 1945. Baby boomers, 1946 to 1964. Generation X, 1965 to 1980. Millennials, 1981 to 1996. Generation Z, 1997 to 2012. Generation Alpha, 2013 to 2025. Every generation is subject to the pressure of social norms. However, those who lack identity achievement tends to be more susceptible to conforming to the pressure of social norms. What are some effects of peer pressure? To know the potential of peer pressure, one must first scope in on the nature of pressure. So what is pressure? Pressure is an applied force which, when applied to a subject or an object, its potential is intended for displacement. Therefore, peer pressure induces or influences movement in a specific direction. The influence can be positive or negative with respect to the identity status of the recipient. The effects of peer pressure can be observed in the behavior of its recipient. It can be observed in their thought process, in their core values, and in their expression of their character traits. Therefore, peer pressure affects thoughts, feelings, and actions. How has peer pressure affected my life over the past 3 years? Over the past 3 years, peer pressure has had very little effect on my life, as I have become aware of its potential to confuse the process of forming sound thoughts and making clear, relevant decisions. However, I was once influenced by the power of peer pressure to do things that were not so good and things that was considered to be good in an effort to be accepted by those who I identified with. How can I benefit from peer pressure? Identity achievement is the status required to benefit from the influence of peer pressure, because in knowing self, there is also an awareness of purpose. Purpose influences behavior. Therefore, if I know my purpose, I know who I am. And if I know who I am, I can teach others to know themselves the same way, freeing themselves from the influence of peer pressure. Freedom. Freedom reigns.